very loud. Let me turn this volume down. Wow, that's loud. Good. Okay. Alright, so that's how loud the menu music is. I might keep it that volume, because I know this game can get pretty loud. Anyway, as I was saying, howdy dowdy gangy, welcome back. My name is Halfwinger, and I am still alive. I know I haven't streamed since, like, I think it was February, because my last stream was was that Helldiver stream during the Siege of Cyberstan. It has been It's been too long. Yep. So I've been busy. I've been busy with school. I've been busy with work. I now work 2 jobs, which sounds like a lot, but I mean, 2 jobs. But one job I only work on Wednesday mornings from 7 to 11. It's not that bad. I've been making good money, so that's fair. I might see some upgrades in the future. I don't know. We'll see. I also see at the beginning of my stream, I was live. It wasn't even live for any amount of time. I just immediately popped live, and I get a chat from one Epic Blitz Druid 0 saying, "Hi, do you play Fortnite? If you do, then please use code COGI in the Fort shop because it's my friend's code and I'm trying to surprise him for his birthday." I just followed. Yeah, so that is actually totally a bot, since this account was created yesterday. So I'm going to ban that, and that message is gone. Wonderful. Let's see. Alright, so that's been taken care of. I'm going to check on the information for the stream really quickly. Okay. Alright, I think that's everything. Please tell me that saved the information I just added. It didn't! Crap. I'm just editing some tags real quick, getting more, like, let's see, weather, tornado. Okay, done. Alright. Booyah. Alright. Also, I think, just to prevent... I'm going to add a blocked term. Make these private. Okay. Okay. That should be good. Alright. Good. Okay. So that is all set up. That was my stream. There we go. Because I'm trying to find the manager, just to get that handled. Okay. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I'm using a poor man setup. I don't have this all hooked up to my computer and stuff like I normally do because I'm lazy and I didn't want to do that. This is just on the PlayStation, and it should be recording too, because I'm going to upload these VODs to YouTube at the end of my streams. So anyway, like I said 5 minutes ago, I am still alive. I last streamed in February-ish playing Helldivers, mostly because I was bored playing Helldivers with my friend. So this is different. If you can read, which I hope you can, this is the first of many what I'm going to start calling Twisted Thursdays. It's basically every Thursday. Time's going to vary. I started this idea based on the fact that I don't work Thursdays at all. But, you know, that's probably going to change come this summer, and I might start working on Thursdays again. And so if that becomes the case, then I might switch to doing Twisted Tuesdays, but we'll see. For now, Twisted Thursday, and it's not mentioned in the name of anything, but with Twisted Thursday, where I stream and then upload the VOD of said stream on YouTube, I'm going to start doing cosplay of the day. Because admittedly, I have a problem. Every time I get paid, which is bi-weekly, every time I get paid and get an average paycheck total from both of the jobs I work, guaranteed over 100 on average, around 3, because I work as a server, a lot of my income relies on tips, so it's varied, but regardless, more money than I would like to admit from a single paycheck goes into Roblox cosplays. I have a problem. I just like creating characters I like. And so I'm going to start doing cosplay of the day, where I wear a different cosplay. And yeah. You know, if we end up getting more people in chat in the future, I don't know how likely that is, I don't really care. But if we end up getting more people in the future, we can start having people guess beforehand. Oof. The problem I see that creating is that people who follow, like, people can just look at my account on Roblox. Anyway, things will get laid out as we do this. But yeah, so we're going to start doing cosplay of the day, where I'm going to wear a different cosplay that I have created and am very proud of every day. Today's cosplay, however, was not my decision. It was actually left up to my amazing boyfriend, Apple Eye, because I asked her just, hey, which one should I do? And it asked what game I'm playing. And so yeah, so this first cosplay is the one cosplay I have that would closest align with the nature of this game, which we're going to get into now because I realize I've been talking for almost coming up on 10 minutes. So this is Twisted on Roblox, version 1.22, as it says in the name, like I'm some kind of nerd, version 1.22, patch 2. There's not really much to say. If you haven't been able to tell by, I don't know, the background or the name Twisted, inferring that, or in fact, if you've been reading the screen while I've been yapping away, I don't know if you recognize things like the radar or, TIV or Dow radar, but it says just below that in the Dow changes, storm/tornado changes. This is a game about storm chasing, about not general storm chasing, it's specifically about tornado storm chasing. Granted, there are other games on Roblox connected to this. There is connected to similar games. There's Helicity, which is cool. There's another one. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Chased. Chased is cool. I've played it once or twice. It is just storm chasing, period. It is not about tornadoes. Your goal in that game is to take pictures of storms that will develop. They won't always create tornadoes, because tornadoes aren't their focus, and that, I think, is pretty neat. But that's not what we're playing, because there's no day of the week that starts with a C. No, it's fun. It's still in alpha, however. I don't know, I just prefer Twisted. I know it's less realistic, and it's, honestly, its community is more of the, the wannabe, the tornado kids, like if you go on TikTok and see anything connected to storm chasing, it's, oh, that one looks like an EF4, EF5, EF6, 7, El Reno, Skibbity Boy. It's like, like, no hate. I have no problem. I don't think that this is a kind of community that should be gatekept based on age. It's just, so this is a little frustrating to see sometimes. And this community has a lot of it. I've seen it firsthand. It's annoying, but whatever. It's just it's also the one I have the most experience in and I'm most progressed in. So yeah. Anyway, enough time wasted. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. And see, I'm looking here. We have the server browser here. So I'm going to do some more yapping before we start. These are interesting. These. You see the MDT, MRGL, TSTM. These are, you know what? We're going to take a bathroom break. Alright, never mind. So this is going to become a common occurrence for a lot of these streams where I get called away. And where I'm streaming on the PlayStation, I don't have any kind of "we'll be right back" screen. So you're gonna have to hear me say "we'll be right back," and if people join while it's quiet, they join while it's quiet. There's not much that can be done. So yeah, we will be right back. Alright, and we are now back. So I'm probably gonna edit that really long cut out in the VOD, just because that was, that was kind of frustrating. But I am back. Anyway, as I was talking about, you may have seen these lettering. If you haven't guessed, or if you don't know, because I'm sure people who do know a thing or two about storm chasing and whatnot would know about these. Like, they would. I don't know if I said wouldn't. They would. But these are ratings of risks in the day for a tornado. So you'll see this is marginal, slight, enhanced, moderate, high, and I believe that's testimonial? I do not know. It would make sense. TES, but either way, these are different risks for tornado. In the real world, these are the risks for tornadoes. If you go look at the actual National Weather Service's ratings, you can see the sort of like areas of risk that they draw on the continent. And yeah, so the higher, basically the sharper, so like the light, the greens, the light green testimonial or whatever, and marginal, low risk, slight is higher, enhanced is even higher, moderate is even higher, and then high. So if you notice, they get more red, although there is a sharp change in the fact that they go pink, and I think that's just because, I don't know, I think they reach red too fast, and pink is a sharper color than red, and that's a common trait, with colored things in this game, is that they go from green up to red up to pink. Granted, for this game is different because it's not like I said way earlier, almost 10, 20 minutes ago. This game is different from real life because every storm that spawns in this game will generate a tornado. That is because it's a game about tornado chasing. It's a game about tornado chasing. You're gonna find tornadoes. That's kind of the whole point. So yeah, you're gonna see a tornado every time. So instead, they use this risk thing as a way of telling how dangerous they're gonna be. On like a marginal day, you're gonna get some small tornadoes. They're not gonna be that dangerous. They're not gonna be that big. But then on high, you're gonna get big tornadoes, and you're gonna get dangerous tornadoes. And so I'm scrolling the server list. I'm debating between either joining a specific server or just clicking play, and we'll see. But I think we're going to join this server. It has been open for a day, so there is risk of crash and whatnot, but there's only 19 people, and it doesn't really matter what time it is. The next day after this is going to be a high risk, and that can guarantee us some pretty good encounters. So, enough time's wasted. Without further ado, let's just load right in. And don't forget, we're doing cosplay of the day. So, once I get spawned in, we will see the cosplay. So, this server is actually, wow! You know what? That's a shame. You can clearly see it says 19 to 25, but it's very clearly not 19 to 25, so we're just going to click play. Anyway, here we go. Ooh, I've never seen this before while loading in. Okay. Oh, let's do our daily spin. Let's see what we get. It'll be what's ever up here. Ah, $1,000. That's actually not that bad. Um, okay. So here's the map. Oh my gosh. So here's the sort of thing for seeing a tornado. Um, we're not seeing the entire radar screen because this is the spawn screen. They don't cover it with radar. But so these are polygons. These indicate different warnings. A yellow is a severe thunderstorm warning, and red, orange are tornado warnings. There is a chance if there's a tornado coming for a bigger city like Hazleton here. I'm surprised it isn't pink because for Wadena, down there's Prior Lake, Viroqua, any of the big cities, it'll be a pink warning because that's not a tornado warning, it's a tornado emergency, which are very rare and they only happen when a very powerful tornado is heading towards a very populated area. And you can tell this tornado is powerful because it's pink. If you remember from earlier, the color coding green, yellow, orange, red, pink. Pink is the worst. This symbol, one, it marks the tornado on the map so people know where it is, but it's a TV. Their colors change. It's a TV, I think it's like tornado velocity, because the colors change based on wind speed. I don't know them exactly. I'd have to look at the legend, but I am pretty positive that this is upwards of 180, 150 to 180 miles per hour wind speeds, which are very bad. So that's a very powerful tornado. We could spawn in here at Cherokee, I believe that is. Yeah, we could spawn up here at no, it's Chandler. Cherokee Village down there. That's Chandler. We could spawn in there and try to intercept, but where it's right there at the end and we don't know how fast it's going, it's just not worth it. So instead, what we're gonna do is what everybody who plays this game does. We're gonna spawn in down here at Prior Lake. So we have Dubia Donuts, Truckies, which is the Bucky's analog, and 812 gas station. So we're spawning in here. We can see actually right there. It is almost 1 o'clock in the morning, so it's dark, hard to chase a tornado, not visually appealing, more dangerous, not really worth it in my opinion. So we're gonna spawn here at Prior Lake. Now, why we're spawning here is because whenever a new day starts, because there's a grace period between the previous night's tornadoes and early in the morning. In that grace period, tornadoes don't spawn. They don't tend to spawn until around midday to the afternoon of the game. It's rare for them to spawn in the mornings, so everybody gathers here at Prior Lake in the gas station and waits. That's because A, there is a real life sort of tradition, I would say, with storm chasers where they gather in parking lots at like a gas station or whatever in a local area with high weather risk. And because if you can see right here, Prior Lake is nearly dead center of the map. It's not exact center, but it is the by far the closest area to the center of the map. I believe dead center is right here beside Trent in this region, um, along the county line. So anyway, like I said, we're gonna spawn here at 8:12, and the cosplay of the day, lo and behold, is Rainbow Dash. This is what I was told I should wear as the cosplay for the stream because, tornado chasing, weather, and Rainbow Dash, if you ever watched My Little Pony, um, her whole whole deal is weather. So that's the cosplay of the day, and I hope you guys enjoy it because this is a custom cosplay. Obviously, I took a bit of inspiration here and there, and I do recognize that there are probably some things about it that could be changed, but for the most part, this is all from my brain in my wallet. So yeah, so that is the cosplay we're going to be wearing for today. Now we're going to start. I'm going to show you guys the process I do. I'm also going to turn off chat just because we don't know what people are going to be saying, and so that's for the best. So no chat. Um, so first things first is I hop up here. So we have our little bar here. That's the vehicle spawning. This is the weather, which by the way we're going to look at this. So this is our thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is just sort of data about the weather for the day. Marginal for today, marginal for tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. That's what day 1, 2, and 3 are. Is enhanced. So these are. I'm not going to sit here and explain each individual one, but these are basically, the data for the weather. Temperature, CAPE, lapse, I don't know what PWAT is, surface, relative, that's relative humidity, and then everything else. Um, These are all the factors for tornado generation. The redder they are, the worse, like the stronger they're going to make the tornado, basically, or more likely, I guess, in real life, and the more likely they are to uh, cause a tornado. So we'll get back into that in a minute. But my thing. Oh, and this is house. House. I think you can buy houses in the game temporarily. I don't really do it because it's just not worth it. I don't even know if it's a feature they're going to be keeping, but that's there. This is personal, so you can create a convoy and you can select your occupation. We'll get back to that in a second. This is the radar, like the specific button for radar. But there's a keybind for it, for me at least, on console, so I just press that. And this, their Robux purchasing, their donation, their whatever, blah, 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 blah. Game passes and whatnot. No hate to them. If you like this game, go donate. I'm not going to say don't donate. I love this game a lot. These creators did a good job, and I've spent my Robux on this game, and we're about to get into that. First thing you'll notice, I have a drone. This is not in the default game. You have to buy the drone game pass, and I have bought it. See, look at me. You can see the lines on my arms. Yep. So this is a game pass that I own. This camera is not a game pass. Everybody gets this, but because taking photos is actually a viable way to make money in the game. This came recently, I believe, with 1.22 patch 2. So yeah, the drone is a game pass I got because I like big aerial shots of the tornadoes, and sometimes I fly the drone into the rotating mesocyclone just for fun. It doesn't do anything, and you can't you can't see anything when you do it. But yeah. Anyway, what we do is we go here. So there are 4 teams on this game: Civilian, Storm Chaser, NWS, which is National Weather Service, and the Emergency. I own NWS and I play NWS. Most people go for Storm Chaser and Civilian is the default because some people don't care. But I go NWS. It doesn't change anything except well, you'll see it makes changes. It doesn't change anything here. Here, just me standing here. But it does change my name to green because I'm NWS, and it gives me this clipboard. And this handy dandy little clipboard has a whole new feature to the game that other people playing. Oh my god, that is bright. It adds a whole new feature to the game that other people cannot access, that I have unique access to. So basically, we can't see it here because the tornado clearly has not been here, which is rare. I don't know how old the server is, though. Um, but anywhere that a tornado has been, when I'm holding this, you'll see the debris, the damaged houses and signs and stuff light up. And so I can go up, I can look at the damage that was caused, and it'll give me this screen where I can, look at that storm in the distance, that's pretty. It gives me the screen where I can rate the damage. Basically, it'll ask what the damage is, and I have to answer that based on, it'll show the wind speeds and in the, either depending on what tab I'm on, which is lower, average, or upper bound. I just put down what the wind speeds were. Excuse my grammar. I put down what the wind speeds were, and as you do that enough for a specific tornado's location that it hit, if you look at the statistics for a past tornado and find the one that you were assessing the damage of, it'll give it a rating. All the tornadoes that this hasn't been done for would just be EFU, which is EF unrated. But then once you analyze the damage, yeah, you get to apply an official rating, which would be anywhere from 0 to 5. I believe, I don't have it, but people who do have the emergency game pass, I believe they're able to help. You'll find injured and dead NPCs in the path, and they're able to help those people, and then that adds to the casualty statistic for the tornado, which I think is pretty cool. I might get the game pass at some point. I am definitely not getting it right now, though. So anyway, moving on, I pick my team. Here is the dealership, warehouse, and this is EMS for people who have the Game Pass. But as you can see, I do not have it, and I am not spending that much money right now. I'm kind of broke on Roblox and in real life right now. So yeah, we're not purchasing that. So these are the vehicles just 2 of the vehicles I own in the Chevrolet, the Chevlon, but the Chevrolet analog. This is the vehicle I used to run. I had what is that? The 2008 Chevlon Camion EXT. I cannot rotate the camera, so this is the only shot you get of it. But I had this, which has a mesonet up there. What that does is analyze wind speeds and gives you a very small bonus for being in a tornado's wind field. Very small, not worth the risk because this thing doesn't even have a wind speed rating. Then this is the Discovery Support version, the Discovery Support vehicle, which I paid an extra $5,000 for, and all it does is boost your off speed your off-road speed by 4 miles per hour. So yeah, this is not the vehicle I drive. This, the 1992 Chevron, it's a starter vehicle. That's all this is. It's just the starter vehicle. I recently acquired this. So this in the warehouse, we're going to back out. This in the warehouse is vehicles. So these are interceptors. And up here are the Dow, which are Doppler on wheels. They are moving radars. Basically, you get money for scanning a tornado. But these are interceptors. These are specially made, armored, and otherwise engineered vehicles designed to be hit by a tornado. And I own one. So this is the TIV-1, Tornado Intercept Vehicle 1. This was built by a great, very, very interesting man named Sean Casey, who was an IMAX filmmaker. If you can see this little turret on top, he put an IMAX quality film camera inside this thing to record footage of tornadoes for a documentary. And then back here is just, data and stuff, because he did work with the National Weather Service and whatnot. I specifically drive the 2005 version, which objectively, in my opinion, looks not as good because this is cool. You got the wind vane up there, the mesometer, whatever. You got black metal plating. You got these cool spikes that'll come out and hit the ground. And in 2005, the black is gone, the rotating wind vane is gone, the spikes are gone, but it's objectively a better vehicle because it can withstand an entire extra. It has a whole 5 second shorter deployment speed, which matters in a tornado, and it can withstand an extra 10 mile per hour wind resistance, which also matters in a tornado. So this is what I run. So we're gonna spawn it. And so here it is in game. This is the TIV-1. I love this vehicle so much. It is such an interesting tornado interceptor. And you'll see my inventory has been updated again because I've now been given the probes. So every vehicle, you will have your probes that you purchase and put on your vehicle. These probes, you put them down, manually place them like this. You place them down on the ground ahead of the tornado, walk away. If you look here, I do need to get new ones. They will record wind speed, both the current and the highs that they did record, and they earn you income for that. I do have, by the way, another Game Pass I purchased that you can't see. I got the double income DLC because it's a game. I want to progress fast, and it's my money I can spend, so who cares? These are both the same one I got, but they're different variants that we're not going to look at right now because that'll take a lot of time. But this is, I think this is Twistex Tower Probe, maybe? I actually am going to look at that real quick. See, these are all of them. We're just going to look for mine. Yep, yeah, Twistex Tower Probe, because it makes the most money out of any probe in the game. The most by far. Not to mention, or that's not to say I don't make money without them. I don't always place them. It depends on how much time I have, if I think I've set up a good enough intercept. So anyway, yeah, we're all loaded up on gas. This thing does take diesel, not gasoline, because this is the TIV. We're going to talk about it while I get into position. The TIV, the Tornado Intercept vehicle, was built in the early 2000s by Sean Casey using a either 80s or 90s modeled Ford F-350, which on its own is a really nice looking truck. And so he took that, tore off basically everything, welded this like protective metal cage around it, angled it to make it a little more aerodynamic. He put the hydraulic system in. Yeah. Thousands of dollars. He almost put his family. Yeah, it was a risk. Actually, I don't want to say he almost put them on the streets or anything because that feels harsh, but he definitely took a huge risk building it, and it's a risk that ended up paying off because there's the TIV-2, which is still used. There's somebody driving it up there. You can see it. We're not going to get up close because I don't want to get up in somebody's personal space. Yeah, we're staying out of their way because I'm doing the showcase. I don't want to be up in front of anybody. So anyway, cool thing about Intercept. Oh. So sorry guys, I know that was loud. I have my cat in here. I moved my chair and I think I landed on her paw. Hey, Luna, are you okay? I don't know if that came through. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard that, but she yelled so loud. I felt really bad. I think I caught her tail. You okay, Luna? Did I catch your tail? You don't want to... Of course you can't tell me. I'm sorry, Luna. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna set her back down. I've been mad at her recently, but because she's been a little butthole, but now I feel bad. She didn't deserve that. Anyway, so I've been talking about interceptors. So I mentioned deployment speed. Basically, I'm just gonna hit the button. Same button as the handbrake because it enables the handbrake. This is deployment. That's that. So hydraulics going off, it lowers, it cuts completely, it, there's no air. It doesn't let wind get under the vehicle because that is what you want to focus on preventing when intercepting a tornado. Wind getting under the vehicle will pick the vehicle up and throw it, and that's how you end up dead in a mangled wreck 30 miles away from where you were. Um, so yeah, so that's what interception is. Different interceptors have different. That's what deployment is. Different interceptors have different deployment speeds. Faster is better, and higher wind resistance is also better. So yeah, so that's the showcase of this vehicle for all that I want to showcase for now. So now we're going to look at the radar. So you'll notice when I'm looking in this view, I have to hit this so I don't drive. If you notice looking in this view, these blue streaks on everything. These are if you look down here, reflectivity. So radar in this game and in real life has two different views. Weather radars have two different views that are going to be the most important. That's reflectivity and velocity. So reflectivity is how much precipitation is bouncing back radar. So we're going to see, I'm going to probably keep it down there because I know the wind was blowing north-ish. That means that we're going to see tornadoes forming around here. And so we're going to see as the storm forms, reflectivity will build up because it's rain building up, getting intense, and bouncing off to the radar. Velocity, you'll see different. Oop, might be another bathroom break coming up. Incorrect. Was not a. Nope, not coming up. Anyway, so you'll look at here, you'll see velocity. Now, this is wind speeds. Oh, there it is. That's the reflectivity building up because the precipitation is beginning, and the velocity change because this is wind it's detecting moving. If we look up here at KHZL, you can see it's still building up. Velocity is the direction and speed of. Okay. Anyway, if I can get my words out, velocity is relative wind speed to the radar station. So you see that split because if you see down here in the legend, positive is towards and negative is away. So the red is towards, the green is away. So that's the barrier of it going towards the station, near the station, past the station. And when the tornado forms, you'll know it because you'll see green in the red or red in the green. You'll see the colors that are in places they're not supposed to be because it's the rotation. So enough yapping because we have this precipitation, we have this reflectivity building up. So you can see how the shape shifts and changes based on which radar you're looking at because the radar, like each block of scanning is, they're angled towards, it's like a ring around the station, so you'll see different relative. And because the station is closer to the THIB station, you're going to get it more precise than you would in Hazleton, even though Hazleton KHZL has a wider range. And you can see it's really starting to pick up, so that's enough talking. We're going to go ahead, I'm going to turn my headlights on. We're going to go ahead and get heading that way. Maybe. I'm actually going to look, let me see. So it's looking like we're going to see something called a hook form. That is, you can kind of see it starting to take shape here, which means we're probably going to take a right up this road really quickly. But the hook, you'll know, it's when the tornado's forming because I actually don't know. Okay, sometimes the camera gets a little weird. Oh, there is tornado damage up here. Tornado damage, like this will happen when a tornado hits, and it'll take 3 in-game days for any damage. It takes 3 in-game days for the map to reset. And I cannot drive over that, so I have to go around off-road. But the hook will start to form. I don't know why, but that hook is where the tornado will be. You'll see on the velocity, ooh, lightning flash. You'll see on the velocity part of the radar as the rotation starts to begin. And when it starts to get strong enough for a tornado, you'll see the symbol for rotation appear on the radar. And then beyond that, tornado drops down, hits the ground, boom, tornado, lightning. So we're going to start slowing down, cutting back on this. We're going to let it naturally drift. We're going to look up here. There it is. So you see what I mean. Not as much intense reflectivity. I'm gonna switch to KCL, but there's the hook forming. We're gonna head up here until the intersection, and from there we're gonna hold off and we're just gonna watch. If it goes overhead, we'll keep going north. We're driving north right now. Zoop. So you hear that rumble. A lot of that is lightning. There's near constant lightning in the thunderstorms that this game produces because there is near constant lightning in a lot of tornadic thunderstorms, as they're called. Um, and you can even see the haze right there. You see that cutoff where it gets darker. That's the rain. That's like the visual effect of the rain. It's a little different here, especially like you can see. I don't know if you can tell these like lines that shift as I rotate, because those are just kind of flat images that they're using. But it's meant to visualize what you'll see in real life. So as I load up here, all looks good. If we look at velocity, first and foremost, you're going to see this huge sort of bulging out of the wind, because that is like the broad scale of rotation. You can kind of see a bulge over here too, all things considered. But ooh, I didn't talk about that. So if you look here, you'll see you'll see the reflectivity being like whiter, and this symbol, that's hail, because hail, you'll always get hail with a tornado. Um, okay, well, the triangle's gone. The triangle, it determines the size of the hail. I don't know what the specific meanings. And then yeah, the wider it gets, for this rainbow scale here, larger, more reflectivity. Ooh, okay. So we're looking. That hook is forming really sharp. It's looking like, yeah. So the hook is right. It's closer to KHZL, so it makes more sense to use the KHZL radio. You can see the change forming right there. It's right above. There it is. That's the rotation symbol. So if we look, we are actually in the rain and cannot see anything. That's bad. That's really bad. So we're gonna go up to the next intersection up ahead, and hopefully we'll be out of the rain enough to get a good look at the cloud cover. Because as you can see, it's like glitching and weird. It does not look good. Somebody's in that. That's a Dominator. That's by a different guy. This is Sean Casey. Tornado warning. That's Dominator's Reed Timmer. If you're big in the weather community, you know who Reed Timmer is, and you should know who Sean Casey is too. Reed Timmer and Sean Casey are sort of rivals. So you can kind of see through the glitching, there's moving. That's the actual rotation. That's what's called the wall cloud rotating. Oh, that's way bigger. We're partially under the wall cloud, and that is the tail cloud. I've heard it also called a cigarette cloud. I like tail cloud. That is just a visual artifact of the rotation forming. We're gonna move this way. And the Dominator's following me. So yeah, that is a really low wall cloud. That is a really low wall cloud. So that's formed from the mesocyclone, which, while we're trying to get into position, the mesocyclone is the rotating column of, air and clouds and whatnot in what's called a supercell storm. The mesocyclone, rotating, provides the energy needed for a storm, like a supercell, to just stay. They'll persist for hours.
If no shelter is available,
it's like the beating heart. I wish I had a radio to shut up. It's the mesocyclone is like the beating heart of a supercell storm. They keep it going for ages. That is formed by a lot of different factors. The most common, basic example I can give is from, so the process of a tornado formation. We'll word it like this. So you have a warm front of air, which is just warmer air, blowing and colliding into a cold front of air. In this scenario we're looking for, the warm air, the warm front, slips under the cold front when they collide. And as you know, warm air rises, cold air sinks. So what this does is you get this sharp collision of air going up and down, creating a rotation, a horizontal rotation already that creates instability more than anything, actually. And I believe at least partially the rotation comes from this up and down motion of the warm and cold air. Then you get cape, which is the difference in wind speed the higher you go. Okay, yeah, I meant to mention. Yellow. This means that the tornado is forming and it's got these wind speeds. Yellow is worse than green. Green is different from green for 4 seconds, so it should be okay. That was a vortex, a small vortex. Oh! I was not close enough! That's the tornado dropping down. Yes, I'm being a nerd. I'm ranting about tornadoes. That's insane. But we're gonna shut up because the tornado's right there. So we're gonna move forward. I like to. You don't get a lot of time when you're this close, but I like to drive forward and follow until the tornado's not moving horizontally, until you know it's coming towards you. I try to get right there so that I know. Yeah, it can hear. It can hear me because I'm talking. Yeah, don't let it know where you are, guys. Don't let it know where we are, guys. And turn my hazards on. Don't let it know, guys. I'm gonna hang a hard right turn. Ooh, there's the rumble. That rumble, fun fact, the rumbling from a tornado isn't actually the wind blowing, it's the pressure, because tornadoes are areas of incredibly low pressure. I am not gonna hop out and drop the probes physically, because it just snapped those trees in front of me. Ah! Dude drove in front of me and flipped the camera out. So this is the fun part. Okay, go do Cohen. This is very loud. Love you. I probably will. The last time I played this game, I was killed. Okay, so I didn't catch the wind speed. I am seeing down there. It's getting up to 120, 130. That is very strong. That is incredibly strong. This is the back end, too. You'll always notice when you get directly hit by the tornado, the wind will pick up, you'll be in the center for a little bit, and they'll slow down. And then as it leaves, they'll pick up again because of the back end, because the rotation, the strongest wind, is on the outer edge, like orbiting the tornado, sort of. And the interior doesn't have as much strong wind. So that was just a basic intercept. Saw that. That was really cool. It gets dark, it gets shaky and stuff. There's strong winds all the way out here. The screen shaking like that should not be shaking this bad out here. This is unique. That's why it's pink. It was pink. The fact that it was pink. And it's big. That is wide. That is very wide for a tornado. And then it's not picking up. No, it's not picking up. I'm gonna go in here, and I'm gonna manually boost my graphics. I'm gonna go manual graphics. So now we have to see the full shape of the tornado. Here's the hail. You can see the hail, and this is actually bad. You can see all the dents on the hood of my car from before because I've used this a lot, and I actually don't know how to fix the dents. But yeah. Those are dents from big hail hitting me, and this is some big hail. So anyway, so I took a wrong turn. I should have followed that right turn that everybody was making, but, you know, let's either or. So you can see, this is a very big tornado. I could tell it was strong when it was snapping those trees in half without even uprooting them, just tearing them down. Ooh, power flashes. That happens when the tornado hits power lines and makes the electricity arc. It's really cool. Visually very stunning. So I think we're just going to keep going straight. We're going to follow this road, take a right through Sneed, and then we should be here. That should put us in like a perfect area to be hit by the tornado for a second intercept. Hopefully for a better intercept with proper probe. The 3Ps. So yeah, this guy driving up behind me. Oh, this is the Dominator 1 guy. It's faster than my car, so yeah, he's going to be moving past me. But that's Dominator 1. I cannot see. I think that's just a normal truck or a scout behind me. It's not positive. We'll see as he gets closer. It's a scout. No, it's a truck. You can see it. It's a truck. There's some dude in a pickup truck with a probe in the back. We're passing under the tail cloud now. So anyway, as I was saying, so where was I? We were talking about the instability caused by the warm air blowing up through the cold air that's pushing down at the same time. And then you have CAPE, which is relative wind speed based on altitude. So the higher you go, the faster the winds are blowing. So slower winds below, higher winds above. That gives you that like slant of higher wind. That creates rotation. Pretty quickly that will create a rotation. From there, the air continuing to rise under it, at least this is how I think it works. I'm not positive. Correct me anywhere in the comments or whatever if I'm wrong. But that it's from previous tornado. But that wind going up will kind of hit the mesocyclone and sort of just push it vertical. And suddenly you have a vertical rotating column of air inside the tornado, inside the clouds, that won't always touch down to create a tornado. Not always, but it can. And I don't know how typical it is for them to, but they do. And then when it touches the ground, you know, it speeds up, and since it's an upward blowing column of air, it creates that low pressure zone. The clouds come in, boom, tornado. When the cloud forms always, I think, after the tornado touches down. So, you know, the wind, you'll see debris and dust being kicked up. You'll feel the winds and everything before the cloud actually shows up. I'm saying this now. We're getting in. We're probably going to intercept. It's big. It's going to be easy to intercept. We're probably going to intercept, but we're not going to get broke down because it's hitting the intercept. Like, this is being a block, if you will, now. It's hitting it now. We are not getting to get out. Okay, so I'm going to try to stop. Very slow to stop. Ooh, already seeing high wind speed. We're deploying now. So if we see wind speed above 180 miles per hour, we don't think that's going to pick me up again. Well, actually, I've been picked up once. I've been picked up once in this game. No, I've been picked up more than once in this game. I've been picked up once in this vehicle, and it threw me into a river. It didn't kill me. It did pick me up and throw me. That was interesting, being thrown for the first time ever. So yeah, that was the second intercept. I forgot the tailwinds are coming in. Yeah, that was the second intercept. You'll see this guy up here. He's driving a pickup truck. He's in a pickup truck. That guy's in a pickup truck. This dude up ahead's not even in a pickup truck. He's in a hatchback. Don't do that. Don't be them. Okay, I understand you want to make money as good as, like, you want to get as good of an intercept as you can. You want to make money as fast as you can. All this. Don't do it in this. Do not intercept in one of those. The wind speed of that would kill anybody driving one of those. They're very lucky to survive. They probably did get dragged a lot. I've had to counter dragging, and you know what? It's ironic of me to be saying don't do that. My advice is to not do it because it's stupid and it'll kill you and it'll screw up your car and damage it. Not worth doing. Just like this is not worth chasing anymore. There's no good intercept to make anymore. I shouldn't be saying not to do it because I would do it in my sport vehicle. That's basically a Tahoe that I drove. Just because I did it doesn't mean to do it. So anyway, that tornado's gone. There should be two. And what do you know? There it is. There's a second one down there that we haven't even seen because we got focused on the first one, which isn't bad. It's not bad. Pick one to focus on. It's usually the best idea, actually, to focus on intercepting one as much as you can to guarantee the intercept. So if you try to bounce between one and two, you're just going to miss most of your opportunities. So we're going to try it, and since it's coming the same direction that we are headed, basically, or like opposite direction that we're headed, since, you know, they should follow a similar enough direction, not necessarily the path specifically. We should meet it. We should meet this one head on, and then from there can turn around and continue to follow it. Currently in a basement is a real. Oh, I hope you're okay. I am not. I do want to I haven't clarified this yet. I'm not trying to glorify any of these. I think they're genuinely interesting. I'm studying meteorology. I actually like them. Proper respect should be given to victims, to survivors, and just to the fact that they devastate so much, even if they don't kill people. They should not be glorified. I don't agree with the people making edits of them. I don't agree with, like... That's partially why I don't like the little kids on TikTok who do the whole, like, oh my god, that's definitely an EF5, you know, all they talk about is El Reno and Joplin and Gerald, because it's disrespectful to the victims of those specific tornadoes, and it's also just disrespectful to the fact that these are real, dangerous things that should be given the respect that they're due. So sorry to go on a tangent about that. I genuinely hope you're safe and okay, and that everything comes out okay. You and your family.
to a sturdy building.
Where's this one at? Are we still on the right? That's the right turn, right? Okay.
Lightning and heavy rain. For your protection, move
Ooh, okay. So you can see some of the green. I don't know what causes that. I was gonna go on a tangent about it. I actually don't know what causes that. I don't remember what causes the bright and vibrant, like green and like blue colors that you see with tornadoes and storms. Oh my gosh. Is that invincible? That's invincible. So yeah, those colors are NPCs who are injured. Okay, so this is a lot of bad damage, and I don't know if it came from that tornado we just intercepted before, or from the other one. We're going through hail. I'm not happy about that, because that is going to devastate, devastate the integrity of my vehicle. Ooh. I want to say we might be in line. We're going to be a little late. I was going to hope that we're in line to intercept by the time we get down to when it crosses this road. I don't think we are, especially not when I'm off-road and going slower. Ooh. That's cool. The bendingness of these tornadoes, I know that's just randomly generated, I'm pretty sure. 9 times out of 10 it's randomly generated for this specific game. But in real life, that bendingness, when a tornado ropes out, like a sidewinder and all of that, is because the wind is blowing vertically, especially at that like altitude. The wind is catching it, physically blowing the tornado over. It's really interesting. Yeah, so ooh, we might get there in time. I think we are. I think we are actually going to make a proper intercept. See, I didn't think we would, because it's really hard to judge the movement of a tornado based on radar alone. Perfect timing, actually. We're hitting it just now. Oh yeah, this one's way weaker than the last one. I take that back. This is getting that's pretty equivalent wind speed right there at the back end. No, okay, well, no. I don't know if you can call that explicitly multi-vortexing, but those are smaller vortexes coming down and orbiting around the first one. I don't know what causes that either, other than just, you know, the wind rotating causes more wind around it to rotate. You get little eddies, I think they like to be called. They like to be called, like they have a preferred terminology. We might be able to make a second. You know what? I'm calling fuck it. Probe. I just got stolen. No, please. I forgot. People don't lock their cars. Okay, we're chilling. That was close, but we're chilling. So the probes are cool because they show the maximum they recorded, which your mesonet down here in the bottom right won't do. See, because I know for a fact that I'm not crazy and just got 130 mile per hour detection back there. And then when it decides to hit the probes, we get 50. 50's not good because you don't even make money unless the wind speeds are over, I think it's anywhere from 60 to 70. 67. You don't... Well, crap. I just got scammed out of my money. Not really. Hell, I'm making money now. Like, I saw it go up a little bit. That's how much buy. I do think this is about to pick up. This is was that a third one? There's a third one up. Oh, it's hitting Hazleton. Okay, it just picked up vertical. It just picked up horizontal speed immensely. What? What was that? What is that? Why is it moving so fast all of a sudden? It's about to become a water spout. It's going to hit the water. I don't know if it's going to intensify. Part of me doubts it's going to profit. Like, it might pick up a little bit, but definitely not to the degree that that one was when we got the first and second intercept. That first intercept alone was insane. That was some pretty intense wind. Yeah, I don't know if this is actually going to intensify. It should have been stronger. When a tornado gets condensed like this, when it gets thinner, it has its what's in real life called its rope out. That's when they get stronger, because think of it's not Coriolis. Whatever the physical effect is when, you know, like a ballerina pulling her arms in, she spins faster. It's the same thing applies. As it condenses, it's like its metaphorical arms are condensing, wrapping around it, and it starts to spin faster. That concentrated higher wind speed, higher rotation means more damage.